this sea witch weavery. Like, yes, it's so pretty. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka GeekXX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to The Wheel of Time. We are already on episode 5, of season 4, which is called Tel Aran Riud. I hope I said that right, probably didn't, but it's fictitious, so I'm gonna take it. So the last episode, we had the trials, plural, of Rand and Moiraine and Aviendha. They all went into Riudian. I keep saying that. I keep stuttering on that. But they all went there and went through their various trials. For Avi, it was so that she could become a wise one, which we discovered last episode is something that she should have been doing a while ago, but she was allowed to run around a little bit before she had to settle in. For Rand, we already know the reason he had to go in. And for Moiraine, she wasn't planning on going through, but because one of the wise ones let her know that there was something that might happen if she didn't, she decided to do so. And so it was a really, really intense episode as far as lore and the amount of information we had thrown at us, but it was really helpful and informative. And thankfully I rewatched the episode and was able to talk through it, so a lot more of it is clear to me. So thank you to everybody in the comments who helped me to try to put some shape around it and gave me suggestions on how to understand it better. And yeah, it was great. So now that we've done that and the dragon has been marked, I guess we see where we're going to go from here, because there is still so much more to do. This is only the beginning of what Rand has to do in this area, because he's got a whole prophecy to fulfill here with the Aiel. All of that while, of course, the Forsaken are still out there hunting them, and the time is ticking away. So I'm ready to get into this episode, but just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know when I drop episodes, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. All right, out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. Moiraine, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh, the cinematography this season. Interesting. Oh God. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Gotta say, Latro is a little bit more graceful. No judgment. We watch and we don't judge. Pretty. Don't know what it does, but it looks great. Has a little extra seasoning that I don't think went well. Come on, bring it back, Moiraine. Bring it back. Oh, I don't like this sound, Moiraine. I don't like this sound, Moiraine. I don't like this look, Moiraine. Put that down. Put it down. Thank God for Lan.
What did it feel like to you?
Oh, I meant the emotion. Okay.
Euphoric. What else?
Scary.
What did you see in the rings?
We haven't talked about it yet. Interesting. I really like that Moiraine has a soft place with, ooh, that's cool. But I was gonna say, I'm really glad that Moiraine has a soft place with Lan when she's dealing with all of this, because her and Suan are clearly on the outs, but even when they were together, it's not like she could just go to Suan with all of this. And she's such a bottler. But anyways, I'm glad that she's got this with Lan, because she definitely needs a little bit of a soft place after seeing what she saw in the rings.
Does it surprise you that Savannah and Couladin rejected him? He's not one of
Not
us.
really.
No thanks to you.
Ooh!
Cannot.
You will meet Randall Thor when he wakes each day, and not leave him until he goes to his blankets at night.
This will be the first step of your training in what it means to be wise.
Get to know your enemy, girl.
He is the Karakar.
Wetlander or not. I love how their outfits blend in with the rock. That is so smart.
We will stay here until the other chiefs have gathered at Al-Khayr Dal.
Okay. Moiraine in this hat. See, when she first was wearing it was very much like, oh my gosh, I can't handle the summer sun, please, shade. And now she's like, I think I'm one of the locals now. You see, I've got the hat on and I've got the same clothes. I think they'll accept me. It's giving me Ewok Village, but in the rocks.
I ask leave to enter your hold, Roof Mistress.
You have my leave, Clan Chief.
Why are you smiling like that?
Shade of my heart. You always have my leave.
I give thanks, Roof Mistress of my heart.
Ah, that's why they were smiling like that. How many women does this man have? Is she the chief S or what is it? I thought it was.
You've met my wife, Bear. Now meet my wife, Leon.
Grandfather!
I see. It's okay.
work hard?
So casually. Yeah, might as well just show him at this point, right? He is a dragon. Oh, that's an interesting face, Egwene.
We're going to walk the dream.
Ah.
Will you join us?
I think you should go. You need to learn how to Spartan kick Lanfear's jealous ass out of your head. Where'd this letter come from? Catch yourself, girl. Stand up! Suan!
The most sacred chamber.
You can't have it. Get out.
And you make it look like a fisherwoman's hut.
It's my room. I can do what I want.
How many queens and kings have sat in these simple chairs?
Well, not everyone's as pretentious as you.
Not everyone wants to be sick with the smell.
Thank you.
I'm calling for a vote in the hall.
Okay.
To cage the dragon reborn, as you should have done already.
I presume you have a better handle on it now than the last time you went against me in the hall.
Ooh, she said let's fight.
I remember when you were a novice, fawning over her like a lovesick puppy.
So you're a voyeur? What does that have to do with me?
People don't change. Mother.
Indeed, they don't, Elena.
But I know what you are. River trash.
Wow, classism, huh?
This tower as a 9-year-old girl, barefoot and filthy.
Well, that's how I looked on the outside. You, on the other hand. Right? You got anything else but your cheap insults?
Mother.
Shoo!
Thank
You can wear all the fancy clothes you want, Elida. Doesn't mean you ain't trash. Bye. Don't let her get to you, Suan. People who have to resort to insulting you, it means that they don't have anything else.
Or maybe some wine will be more to your liking.
This would be so heartbreaking. To see your friend reduced to this by someone on purpose.
Mother, there is nothing I would like more than to discover the truth, but we cannot mistake suspicion for certainty.
Yeah, at this point we gotta tread carefully.
If Elida found out that her sisters were being held in the 13th Depository,
she might go and rescue them.
Or silence them.
Okay, it's a play.
Bring me the truth, so I can take Elida's head.
Ooh, I like it. Call me river trash in my own office. Girl, see if I don't decapitate you. Wow, y'all don't do horses? The Aiel don't do horses? Actually, yeah, I haven't seen any horses. They would be hard to maintain in the waste, I guess.
White cloak reinforcements just entered the mountains. You want the coffins? We better go now.
Facts if you're trying to do a rescue attempt. Unless you're gonna bring your whole pack with you. That actually looks good. Hello.
Wetlanders do not share lovers.
We try not to.
That is a lot to ask of one person.
Not really.
Poor Egwene.
You know, you don't have to talk to me.
She kind of does, though.
You don't have to instruct me either.
With your right hand.
Yeah.
I grew the squash, Randall Thor.
Really?
Good for you.
Haven't I?
Oh, her.
It's delicious.
Has he told Myrene about this yet? About her being... Is that a bug? Okay, well, when in Rome.
It's going to bite your throat the whole way down.
Oh, you know, it's okay. I think I'll stick to the vegetables. So much tension at this table. A lot of people with some emotional beef happening.
Above all, you must not enter till around Riot again. Until Malene or I says you may.
How does she... Did she control it last time? Because I don't think she did it on purpose before.
But very few can truly enter it.
It is not part of the One Power, though I said I believe it is.
Oh.
I cannot channel, yet I dreamwalk as well as bear.
Okay, this is a question I had last episode. They answered it for me.
Death in the dream world means death here too.
Oop. Thank you for the explanation, show. I mean, the comments, y'all helped me out with that, and I appreciate it. But I guess if I just waited.
Are we? Yes. This is still around Riot.
Looks, spectacularly like exactly where I was. I expected something a little bit more grandiose. Maybe a beach. Mai Tais.
There are things here that could shatter your heart.
That could eat your heart.
Whoa, okay. There we go.
Uncontrolled thoughts are troublesome in the dream world. Control them.
That's interesting armor.
Sometimes ordinary people stumble from their own dreams into Tel'aran'rhiod for a moment.
Wetlanders wonder why so many people die in their sleep.
Damn! Good to know. Don't dream of death.
If you want to be somewhere else, simply believe you are somewhere else. It is as simple as that.
Awesome. Can you also imagine that you're Spartan kicking her in the face?
Hello? I didn't mean to.
Oh, God. Okay, girl, we just gave you a little inch and you ran all the way to some level of ghostly hell. Mike, can we bring it back? Such an overachiever. Is there different reflections? Okay, yeah. Can you want to be somewhere else, please? Oh, not a doll. Not creepy dolls.
Bear?
Oh, God. Yep. You are such a petty bitch, Lanfear. My God, leave her alone. What did they just tell you? At least now you know who's in your dreams, though. She didn't know before.
She's too eager. She takes too much, too fast.
Didn't I just say that?
Who are the Shadow Salt?
Dark ones, you know? Forsaken.
Wetlanders call them the Forsaken.
Oh, that's right. She's never seen Lanfear. That's right. She's never seen Lanfear. I forgot. Because it's like, how do you not recognize her?
The truth guides us.
Understood. Alviarian, said I. Thank you.
Ooh, Suan, I hope you are keeping an eye on this red. She's working.
Varian Sedai said.
Away, now, or I'll strip your hide with my birch. Accept it or no.
Wow. Varian, you really trusted an adept with this snake walking around the halls?
Outside your sister's watch, since your injury.
The fact that you're going to take advantage of somebody who is effectively mentally disabled at the moment?
Did she take the bait?
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Oh, Varian feels horrible about this.
Can your sister really do this? In her state?
Can she?
My sister can do anything.
Appreciate the support. I hope you're right.
And what did she want us to look at?
Black ash. Black ash.
Exactly. You shut up too. Ah, it's so heartbreaking to see her like this. I'm sorry, but that Black Aja that did that to her, she needs to be put in the exact same spot, only worse. Then leave her someplace where she can wander till she drops. I said what I said. Wickedness. Because she could have just taken her out. That would have at least been a kindness. Oh, who's on a boat? Is it the girls?
I was in Tanchico Bay.
Oh, God. I'm with you, girl. I'm with you. That's me on boats.
Enough. None of that will help us find the Black Aja.
Oh, you should understand the culture, though.
Drink yourself into a stupor and ask for directions to the Black Aja in the old
It might work.
We know her name. Maybe she has relatives in the city.
We don't even know if Gorale is her real last name.
Oh, God. Someone save Nynaeve.
I am going up to the deck.
No, Bat, we can't. We must stay in this room.
I do not blame him for
That was
not
the
wanting to be with the
only-
girl throwing up. That put me
That's
over.
only because she didn't want Nynaeve to throw herself overboard.
Is that an option?
We
Yes, sis! I'm with you. That would be me. 2 weeks of vomiting? That'd be it for me. One power. Bomb. Explode everything.
Let's get up into the deck and we'll figure it out.
No, Matt, we promised this to our mistress we stay. Matt!
Can't stop, Matt.
Just help me up the stairs, please.
I feel like maybe being above deck might help her, believe it or not. The fresh air might help a little. There really is no cure back then. With these types, there's nothing to help you. I was born when I was born for a reason, y'all. I cannot handle the emotion of the ocean. Oh. Yep. Well, at least she made it over the side. They would have been more upset if you threw up on the deck. They're cleaning.
You are of the mountains. You plant your feet too firmly like you're rooted to the spot. Relax.
How?
Make your legs soft.
Can you please stay up here? I can't go back to that room.
Right? It's got a smell of vomit at this point, which is going to make her feel even sicker. But thank you for the tip. If she hadn't come up there, Nynaeve would have been sick down there for God knows how much longer. How's no one seen men this whole time? Damn, she's good at hiding.
Have you got a room on here? Can I stay with you instead of them?
The quick desire to abandon them.
I'd like to get to the truth about Perinebara's whereabouts, if you'd let me.
Can you calm down, Psycho?
No.
Take a breath. Yeah, you can't. Take a walk. Breathe it out. this where you're gonna try to convince us you're a good guy?
Thirsty.
Keep it. Although I can't even say that. They're probably starving.
Nobody's going to get hurt.
Oh, really? Okay.
I want you to tell me what you know about Perrin Ibarra. They say he's come back home.
How would we know you kidnapped us first? It's a nice try. It's worth a try.
Why did you do that?
Why wouldn't she? You have her locked in a damn cage. Who did that? Who did that?
One of you is a witch!
It was me.
She's lying, but bless her. Mom's grown a lot, though. The mother I knew before would have tried to save herself. Valder is so repulsive. So repulsive! The way he gets off on hurting these women. Move quickly, Perrin. These girls are gonna feel guilty forever if their mom dies because of this.
No, not yet.
And me.
They're like, we like her.
And her.
Well, I will stay here.
I have been told stealth is not my strongest.
No, or speed, my love.
It's bloody white cloaks up there. Do you know what they'll do if they even sniff a hint of channeling?
I'll create cover.
She said again, I wasn't asking. Calm down, Maxim. All these women, so strong-willed. It's so cute that y'all thought you could tell them what to do, though. Aww.
You're gonna say that to me, the man who followed you up Turnip Mountain when you won't even tell me why we're here.
We're here because you're not enough. And you know what I realized when the Black Aja attacked? They're ready.
Yeah.
And we're not.
Yeah, she's not wrong.
An army of farmers?
That was where we start.
Nynaeve Almira, Egwene Elvire. The two strongest channelers we've ever seen.
Came from this place.
The Hornblower. They all come from this place.
Something about this Two Rivers blood, man.
The blood of Manetheren flows here. The blood of warriors.
The only thing I've ever cared about is Ivor.
Sorry.
Do you?
You're gonna have to...
So if you want to throw your life away like you threw away Ivor's, do it. But I won't stand here and watch again.
How did she throw Ivan's life away? Ivan, you're acting like the man didn't have a...
That matters.
Oh, what are you gonna do then?
Something we should have done in the first place.
Which is?
I'm going to go find Leanne.
Okay. And die. Good luck.
Come with me.
Mm-mm. That's a suicide mission, bro.
I turned off the bond.
Good. I said it, Ivan was definitely the glue between them, but, like, bro, you're acting like Ivan wasn't a grown-ass man that made his own decisions. You think she bewitched him and forced him to follow her? Come on.
I'm ashamed that I never knew Markia myself.
You're a baby.
What kind of king can't remember his own people?
The kind that had to leave when he was a baby.
You were just a baby when it fell.
Thank you.
Our people created such beauty.
I believe it.
What you miss the most?
Food.
Laughter.
The people here don't laugh? The Aiel are straight-laced like that? Okay. I'm glad Lan has somebody to reminisce about, because, I mean, I'm figuring he doesn't know much outside of maybe what his caretaker told him, but...
Are you leaving?
Yeah! Can we talk about your psychotic girlfriend stalking me in my dreams? Still so awkward. But this time I don't think that was Renna's fault. What are you trying to do with this thing, Moiraine? What are you trying to see? So we're going to talk about it now?
I saw it, Lan. I saw it. And everything that we've done, and everything that we've lost. It's all for nothing because I won't be there.
That's not the right viewpoint at all.
Because in every future where I lived, Rand dies. And the only way he lives.
It's if I die. Very, very frustrating and heartbreaking, but not the way to look at it. Just because you don't get the outcome you want doesn't mean that your efforts are meaningless.
Say something.
Well, you just laid this on me. Can I have a minute to process?
Did you see it in the rings? And you must die tonight.
No. No.
No idea when it happens.
Well, then you have tonight. To sit with your old friend. And have a drink.
Period.
You are in for a treat.
I feel like that's definitely grounds to get drunk. At least once. That's cold-blooded, Lan, but she needed it. Take the edge off. Delicious. Just an acquired taste. I love that. Lan reminding her, like, you don't know when this is going to happen. And you still don't know 100% that it is. I mean, it probably is, but be in the present.
Did you hear that?
What?
Nothing.
Nynaeve not throwing up in a bucket.
And the joyful absence of lectures was hills.
What is she hiding? Was she sketching her visions?
Oh, lucky here. What is this? She's an artiste. She's an artiste. Wait.
Yeah, Matt, you asked her not to tell you, and she's trying to keep it from you. Minded someone else's business.
Do they?
They do. Every single time.
I mean, I didn't kill Ran, did I? And I'm not going to kill myself.
There's other ways to get into a noose. Sorry, Maddie. I know it's no fun, but Min did try to protect you. She did try to respect your request. That's why they're moving so fast. Why didn't I even think of that? But it makes sense. Okay, yes, I'm liking this scene witch weavery. Like, yes, it's so pretty.
This is why I die. I'm not allowed to be on deck when this happens with the seafood.
Because you don't want to share your secrets?
In the tower, they say your channelers are so weak in the power they can never become full sisters.
Or are they?
To continue believing that when you disembark.
Exactly. Leave us alone. Why would we? Why wouldn't we?
There are many ways to be a channel.
Exactly. So pretty. Yeah, respectfully, they're already beating everything I've seen out of the Aes Sedai so far. I think we should learn from them, Nynaeve. Ooh.
Channeling is like the sea. It can't be controlled. It flows, whether you want it to or not.
I guess that's somewhat true. She never meant to touch it whenever she did.
Are you one who doesn't like to give up control?
Absolutely. Thank you, Elaine. Absolutely.
Even in your feet.
Yep.
One of you fights to hold where you stand, while one wants the sea to take her off the path that's been chosen.
Oh.
And one of you is sissing and one is not.
Wow. I love that comparison.
Now go pack your belongings. We'll be in Tenchiko soon.
Yes, ma'am. I really think you should train with the Windfinders, Nynaeve. Because that ish looks cool.
Feldara. The bar.
Oh, here comes
the
that.
seer who told Rand he was the dragon.
I mean, she also told me that I kill Rand, so I guess in a way you're not good at any of it.
She was right about both.
I've been to Tanchiko. Can any of you say the same?
Let him know, man.
And I happen to have some personal experience with Leandra and Sty.
In ways you don't even know. You don't have a choice, ladies. Ooh, what's going on? Fireworks? There's a party. I love a good party.
Don't speak loudly, especially you, princess. And don't flash your money around.
I guess it's probably because Elaine probably sounds fancy.
We will never betray our oaths or our sisters.
Oh.
No matter how many times you ask.
I don't think she's gonna ask nicely. I think I remember someone saying she's a bit of a torture. Oh, God!
Tell me their names.
You're evil, but that was cool.
I know one other.
Speak quickly. Clearly, and she's also Black Aja because she's hurting her. Right? They're not allowed to because of their oaths? Lyda, you crazy person. The gray! The gray! Ah! You're gonna have to like dismember him. Can you do that? Why did Leanne low-key enjoy that? Oh, looks like you owe Suan your life. Could have let you bleed out, say they got there too late.
You let me
You're not the only one who can be.
sister.
Did you? Even though you called me river trash? Didn't think I was that smart or sneaky, did you? Forgot she was a blue. Is that Moggy? Oh, no, sorry. That's right. Cover. That's a... We could have been a little bit more discreet with that cover. It's literally all coming from one spot, but okay. We love it a lot. Okay, this cover's a little too much. Actually, no, he can see. The rest of them probably having a hard time. They're killing wolves because of him. Oh, retribution will be swift.
What is it, sir?
It's unnatural.
That last witch was just a plaything. Want to learn how to catch a woman with real power, child buyer.
Oh no. Oh no, Alana. I knew it was too much. You should have just given a little cover, like a little bit of a cloud cover would have been enough. Why?
Perrin.
Look, shh. We don't have much time. Be quiet and listen to our instructions. We'll get you out of it.
Perrin, what's happened to your eyes?
It's a long story. Talk about it later.
Where's your mother?
They took her that way.
Okay, go with them. They'll keep you safe. I'll get your mom.
I'm tense. I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh God, they killed her. Yeah. Stay calm, Perrin. I need you to stay calm. She literally sacrificed herself for her girls. And for you. I mean, they really didn't know where you were, but still, I think she would have died just the same. At least the girls don't have to see that. Mm-hmm. We're gonna lose Alana? We're really gonna lose Alana? But I like her.
You did this. I thought you were a good man. I was!
That's parents' fault.
Before you.
Suck a bag of dicks. Okay, let's go. Beat him to death. Dane. Ooh! That's right, she's done playing with y'all. Thank you. How dare you get your hands off her future husband, bitch. This is not going well, guys. There's no Aes Sedai to heal him. Thank God you didn't leave. Get Valda, for the love of God, kill that bitch. All of them. All of them. Come get some. He's been wanting to kill someone for a minute. Where's Valda's bitch ass?
You turned the bomb back on 5 hours ago.
Where's Valda? Do you? All that happened because y'all both so stubborn. God. Pissing me off.
Thought I might find you here.
Drop off this ledge right now, Lanfear.
I saw you in Meridian before you released the Dark One, before you swore your oaths.
No, you're just a terrible, terrible hag. Yeah, at least you acknowledge that.
You wanted the world to be a better place. You wanted people to have more than they had.
Now you just want what you want.
I want you, Rand.
Can't have me. Bye.
I love you.
No, you don't. You love lose.
I've always loved the peace that knows you have to break.
Oh, he's such a whore. And the thing is, I don't think he'd stop even if he knew what she was doing to Egwene in her dreams. Egwene, pray you move on.
Can you travel with me in the dream to meet someone?
I'm not supposed to go back.
There's a message I need to deliver.
So,
It's funny, don't you think, you warning me about the dangers of dreams. I remember years ago when I did the same to you.
She's grown. But I think she should tell her about Lanfear so they're prepared. So that Moiraine's prepared. Because as powerful as Moiraine is, or better trained, I guess I should say, we all know Lanfear's got her over a barrel.
Remember, the ding of the brass pin will wake you.
Will it wake you though, Gwen? I don't know if you're ready to be a spirit guide and shit right now.
I've been through the rings of Ruidian. And I know two things to be true. If the White Tower does not bend the knee to Randall Thor, he will lose the last battle.
That makes sense.
That's it. No. You don't get to do that. Not to me.
I mean, how do you tell someone you love that you're gonna die?
We each had a job. Mine was to find the Dragon Reborn. Yours was to prepare the tower to follow.
Which hasn't really been working. Respectfully, Swan.
Should have been you in the tower.
Moiraine's not really a people person.
Strong, clever, ruthless. You wouldn't lose yourself to the seat.
Admission.
I make enemies too easily.
She does.
I wish we'd never gone to Katara study that day.
How life would have been much more simple, hey?
Galloped away to Tyr for a life on the river.
Yes.
In another world, hey? Guess there's no weave for that, huh? Lord knows you'd be. Oh,
what we had. Swan.
I will find you.
Her heart is going to be broken regardless, Moiraine, but I don't know.
Again, until we get it right.
I don't know the right answer. Tell her and have her worry.
I will wait for you. Every time.
I think Suan's picking it up. I'm glad she at least got to say goodbye. That's the very least she could do. I guess that I don't know the right answer. Do you tell her that truth or do you keep it to yourself? Why are you here? What happened? Egwene, why did you leave? But I guess Moiraine's fine as long as the candle burns down. Is she gonna see Rand and Lanfear?
Can you hear me?
Looks too Riversy though.
What do you hear?
The wind.
Oh, she's dreaming of her family. Is she gonna see the wind's people too? Oh, Elaine's dream. Oh, okay, listen, don't be perving on people's dreams now, Egwene, because you can. Stop, girl. She gonna have all the tea and be like, I know what you're dreaming about. This is going too far. But at least she's only observing. It makes sense, though, that she'd be worried about her friends. Well, yeah, what does Matt dream about right now?
Sleeping on the floor. Ever again.
Oh, his family. That makes sense. He doesn't know about his mom.
I'm proud of you.
What he's always wanted to hear from her, rather than you're going to turn out like your father. Perrin's dream? Oh, Hopper's still around. Agreed. Does he have a wife? A person? He already loves her! Yay! It's okay, Egwene. You knew you had to get over you someday. Love that for him. Uh-oh. You went into Rand's dream. Bad news, girl. He's not alone. Get out! But now you know. I'm glad she knows the truth now. Don't you dare end. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. You ended there. That is cruel. That is cruel and unusual punishment. And I want to talk to the manager. How do you end there? Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, gotta say, I'm thankful that that episode was less stressful. It had less coming at me. We got to kind of take a step back, as last episode was super dense. This one was much more digestible. So thank you for that. But yeah, oh wow. Where do we begin? Oh, that ending. My poor girl. Oh, my poor girl Egwene. But you know, she needed the wake up call. Just sad that it was at the hands of that hag. All right, let's start with the girls. Yeah, let's go with the spy agency, the Wonder Girls agency, plus Min and Matt. That was kind of the shorter part of the episode. So they are on their way. I didn't realize that Tenchina was so far away. Like, Lord, they have been ripped off without knowing how to teleport the way that Lanfear and all the Forsaken do, because this long travel stuff is nonsense. But anyways, now we have some timelines too. They've been gone for about 2 weeks, and see, Nynaeve is my spirit animal. There's a reason that I resonated with her since day one. Me too, girl. Me too. That's me. I don't do boats. Okay, I don't do boats for that reason. That motion of the ocean, no sir, no ma'am. Keep that. You can keep that if it ain't by a plane or a train or an automobile. mobile? Count me out. I can't do the boat. I can't do it. I mean, people keep telling me all these tricks. Oh, put this thing on your wrist, pray to the seventh god, make sure the moon's aligned. No, it doesn't matter. I get seasick. I don't like it. So anyway, I feel for my girl. My poor girl having to do 2 weeks of that. Oh my Lord. I was with her when she's like, can I toss myself overboard? Because I feel like maybe if I sacrifice myself to the sea, it'll be less painful than being nauseous every day for I don't know how people did it back in the day, but anyway, they're on their way, and understandably, Elaine's doing her best to try to prepare everybody because none of them have been to Tenchina before, and they want to make sure that they don't look too much like the foreigners they clearly are. But we see that Matt is being Matt, right? Matt's not the studious type. I think we can all assume that. He's not about it. Plus, I feel like he also deals with things a lot better when he doesn't have to worry beforehand. He's got enough to worry about. He's like, I got like a million voices in my head. I really don't need to worry about what's to come if I have no idea what's happening anyway. And then of course, poor Nynaeve is just like, I am just trying not to, in fact, I'm trying to find my will to live on this death boat. So please let me be. But anyways, eventually they go to the deck because apparently the agreement for them to travel on the ship is that they stayed below deck the entire time. But Matt understandably is like, I really can't listen to you lecture and her vomiting constantly. That's too much for 2 weeks. I can't even blame him on that one. So he's like, I need to get above deck. We need some fresh air in here. Y'all, we've all been there. We've all been there. We know it's not a smell you want to be around, especially if you're already feeling kind of queasy. So anyways, they get up to the deck and we find out that, well, first of all, I love that the one lady, I don't think was she the captain? I guess the lady with the nose ring was the captain. But I like that she basically, when she sees the state of Nynaeve, she's like, you know what? Yeah, y'all can stay up here. It's bad for y'all down there. But also, I love that she gave Nynaeve this beautiful hierarchical advice. Okay, that this medieval therapy session where she says to Nynaeve, your legs, she's like, you grew up in the mountains where you needed to be sure-footed, but you're on the ocean now. She moves, she's swaying. You got stiff legs in a place where you need to be fluid. So you need to let go, operative term there, let go, loosen up, and move with the ocean. If you move with the ocean, you're not going to be this immovable object on something that's moving and just kind of basically causing a dichotomy that's not natural. So Nynaeve listens to her and we see it gives her almost instant relief. And anyways, we see that later on, the reason they find out that they've been placed underneath the boat or are not allowed to come on the deck, that and also the fact that we see that Elaine notices that they're moving way too fast for 2 weeks. I mean, we don't know I don't think she ever said how long the journey is supposed to take, but the point is they're definitely cutting road, but we're on the ocean. What would you even call that? Riding waves? I don't know. They're moving fast is the point. And they Elaine recognized that, but of course no one else cared. Well, as they got onto the deck and they see what I think is the prettiest weaves we've seen to date, right? Because we've seen the way that the Shan-Chan weave, and it's I guess, although the ones that were on the boats last season definitely had cooler looking weaves than what we saw from the Soldams and their charges. But we've seen that. We've seen Moiraine weave a lot. We've seen a bit of how Egwene channels and Alana. And the point is, theirs all look okay, but honestly, I feel like, what do they call them? The wind catchers, wind runners? Oh gosh, I forgot the term already. My apologies. But their weaves, to me, what she was doing, it reminded me of the Northern Lights. I'm pretty sure that's probably what they took inspiration from, but it looked beautiful. Like, it literally just looked fluid and colorful and free and beautiful. And I really love the way that they chose to choreograph the movements that she was doing. It reminded me of like interpretive dance, very loose, very languid, very, very free. And it gave more dance than movements, right? Whereas I love that. I love that they kind of show that each group of channelers kind of has a different way that they choose to do their weaves, right? Like, I think the tower trained have their own way of doing their weaves versus the Shan-Chan versus now what we're seeing these folks who, again, they didn't really say where they were from, but the people who are these wind weavers, they do something differently as well. So I really like that they're showing that even the body movements and how they channel is very different. Even when we saw, what's her name? Bear last episode channel, hers was very direct. I mean, we didn't really see her do anything big, but again, just a different way. Hers seemed like it was much more rudimentary and functional. But again, we haven't seen her do anything more elaborate than put up a quick shield. So maybe hers is different. But either way, they let her know, the captain lets them know that the reason they don't let Aes Sedai up here is because apparently whoever these people are, I guess they have a reputation of being weak channelers, that they're so weak that they don't need to go to the tower to train, because we know that the Aes Sedai kind of have a bit of a bar of how much power, how much access to the one power you have before they even bother to train you. And so if they saw what this girl's doing, and I'm assuming she probably isn't even the most powerful they've got, seeing what she's capable of, they would definitely have wanted to take her to the tower. And I guess the part I'm not 100% clear on is I don't know if you're absolutely required, like it's mandatory you go to the tower. I think it kind of is. I think the Aes Sedai kind of make it like if you are seen to have a decent amount of talent, you're expected to go to the tower because they want to make sure you're not going to be a danger to yourself or anyone else. And also, let's face it, it's a bit of a control thing, considering that they're kind of like the weave police, I guess you could say, or the weave governance. But I've said, I think I've said it before, but if not, I've thought it before, that understandably not everyone would necessarily want to train at the tower. They'd have their different reasons. We saw that Suon back in season 1 did not want to go to the tower. She wanted to stay with her family and live her simple fishwife life. But unfortunately, because she was so powerful, I mean, it was dangerous for her as well, but also because they found out about how strong she was, she kind of had to go to the tower. So all that to say that it makes sense to me that there are groups out there that don't want to train the Aes Sedai way, either because they don't like the politics, or they don't like the culture, or they don't want to be trained in that way, or they don't like the fact that the Aes Sedai kind of go by this methodology that, I mean, quite frankly, is a bit outdated and also, I would say, broken from what we know, right? Because we know that there was definitely a gap that was created between where Lanfear and all those people were 3,000 years ago into what they learned in the tower today, right? They said that they've lost so much. So all that to say that if the tower had been smarter, I feel like they would have tried to learn from other non-tower trained channelers, because they probably learn new stuff and probably find out ways to be more effective. But because they're so locked into this ideology of this is the way it has to be, you know, they've probably been missing out. But anyway, back to our Wind Weaver extraordinaire. We see that both Elaine and, well, mostly Elaine, but I think Nynaeve is also equally fascinated at how powerful this woman is and the way her weaves look and the way she's doing things. And I love, again, the captain kind of tunes in on Nynaeve and reads her like a book. I love it because I think my girl Nynaeve really thinks that she's kind of this shrouded in mystery type of person. It's like, no, you're so easy to read, Nynaeve. You got read by Suon, you got read by Lan. Now you're getting read by this stranger. Elaine read you too. Like, girl, you are so... And I don't want to say, like, what's the word I'm looking for? She's transparent. She's more transparent than she thinks she is. But anyway, the way she says to Nynaeve, like, well, first she's like, can you not touch the one power? And Nynaeve's like, no, I can, kind of. Not really. Why are we talking about it? It's awkward. But yeah, she basically is like, I can't really control it. And I love this explanation. And I feel like this is why Nynaeve needs different teachers that are not tower trained. But she says to her, you're trying to control the one power. You can't control it. It's like the ocean. It's like the waves. All you can do is channel it, right? She's like, you're trying to control something that cannot be controlled. It's more than just you. You need to channel. Even the word channel, right? Channel is not to create, it's not to stop, it's not to control, it's to basically try to move it, or, you know, if you're channeling something, you're trying to direct it in a certain way. And I think Nynaeve has been thinking about controlling it versus, okay, it flows through you, and maybe if you know what you're doing, or you know what you'd like it to do, or a way you'd like it to go, you can potentially send it in a direction that you'd like it to go, but you can't really control the one power as such. And I love how then she said, you're not somebody who gives up control easily, are you? She said control freak type A personality diagnosed. My poor girl. So anyway, yeah, and I love that Elaine actually snorted. I'm like, girl, you ain't gotta laugh so loud. But yeah, of course, Nynaeve didn't really deny it. So the captain is basically like, that type of personality is not going to work. You need to be able to move with it, sense what's going on, and be liquid and be able to move with whatever comes at you. And again, she referred back to how she's like, you're the one who's seasick because you're trying to control something you can't. Then you got Elaine. What did she say? That you're trying to run from the destiny that you have. And so you're accepting these changes because it's taking you off the path that's laid out for you. And that's why you're not seasick and why you're so adaptable. Whereas you got Nynaeve, who's rigidly trying to maintain control over things that are no longer in her control, like her path in life, like her role in this larger war against the Dark One. That's not what she wants, right? Nynaeve, I think there's still a small part of her that wishes she was still in that arched place where her and Lan are married and they've got their beautiful little girl and they're just living this simple ass life in the countryside. That's what she wants. And there's still a small part of her, I believe, that's holding on to, that's really what I want and that's my destiny. But that's not the case. And the pattern has shown her that more than once, and she's still trying to control it. Hence why I think, again, I just think that this captain helped her to start piecing together where her block is coming from. And because, yeah, she basically explained to her, which I think she already kind of knows, but the captain kind of explained to Nynaeve that this block is not because of the one power, it's because of how you're trying to use the one power. It's because of your perception of what the one power is and what you're supposed to do with it. And you need to let go of some of that. Otherwise, you're going to stay right where you are, getting seasick, not able to find your footing, really. And so I love that whole scene. I love the way they kind of reframed it for my girl. And yeah, of course, Elaine, I think, absolutely wants to learn how to use her one power the way that this Windweaver is. So anyways, I hope they can learn something from them or they find someone else like that, because I think alternate ways of using the power are going to be very helpful in the final battle. I mean, I'm just estimating at this point, but if Lanfear and all the Dark Ones are, sorry, the Forsaken Ones are counting on all the Aes Sedai to fight a certain way, it'll be very easy for them to counter. But if some things come at them sideways that even they possibly haven't seen, which is very possible because they were sealed away for 3,000 years, I feel like anything will be beneficial potentially in that regard. So anyway, that was the girls. Matt, we finally sees that Min's on the boat, and he understandably kind of sticks to her, and he unfortunately stumbles across Min drawing out her vision because she's trying, as I guessed in the episode where she saw that vision, because of what Elida told her, she's really trying to potentially see what she can do. So anyway, Matt, unfortunately, because he is who he is and doesn't listen, he sees the sketch, and we already know that Matt doesn't like to hear anything about Min's visions as far as like his, well, actually, I think any future, but his in particular. And even though Matt, we know that he uses humor and that jovial personality to mask the deeper stuff, and I really like how he kind of was joking around with her, but we saw that he first crumpled that picture, which is very telling of how he felt. And then we see afterwards when he went back on the hammock, he kind of almost went into the fetal position, right? So understandable. No one wants to see that. No one wants to see a vision or hear that they're going to potentially die sooner than later. And also, you know, with everything else that Matt's dealing with, that's just like one more brick on the pile of craziness he's got to deal with. So yeah, I feel for him. And again, he's just the kind of person that you kind of have to pin him down to talk about serious stuff, but we'll see. We'll see whether or not Nynaeve can maybe pull that out of him, but he probably won't tell them though, because knowing him, he won't want to worry Nynaeve with something that she can't control either. So anyway, that was them. They get to Tenchenko, and thankfully Min has been there before, and also the girls met Min, and Min thankfully is there because, yeah, love Elaine, but the book knowledge is probably not going to get them far here. Min being a little bit more street smart than all of them was very helpful. And I love that she kind of let them know that you're going to have to really tread carefully here because it's a dangerous place and we don't want to be noticed. And interesting that she said to Elaine specifically, keep your voice down. Like she said to all of them, but specifically Elaine. And my guess is because Elaine, again, I was saying that in the episode, maybe she has like because you know how it is. Like in England, for example, there's like people you know are rich because they have a very posh accent, as they call it, right? They speak in a certain way, that they come from a certain place. You know that area is wealthy and the people are a certain way, and they immediately know like kind of who you are and where you're from based on that. I'm guessing it might be something like that Min is picking up as like, girl, you talk like a princess, and if people realize that you're wealthy or you're someone of value, you know, it feels to me like Tenchenko is the kind of place where she could go missing or end up as a ransom. So anyway, they're now there, and we'll have to see what happens now that they've touched ground and how they're going to navigate this place. And then we'll go to who's next? Let's go to the Two Rivers. Yes, Two Rivers. We've got my man Perrin there, who is basically waiting to see when the right opportunity will come up for him to try to snatch the girls and Matt's mom back from the White Cloaks. The White Cloaks are still kind of in a holding pattern, although they know that the White Cloaks reinforcements are on their way. And we see that at least what's his name? Dane, there we go. We see that Dane is at least still trying to keep the frothing at the mouth Valder at bay as far as the girls are concerned. And he tried the good cop, bad cop, right? He went in, tried to talk to the girls, tried to talk to their mom, and you know, they're telling the truth at this point, right? Because he abducted them before Perrin returned. So they're telling him the truth and that they don't know where he is. Like at this point, if they've been captured the whole time, how would they know where they are? But anyways, we see that bless her heart, Matt's mom tries to steal the keys, which I'm like, girl, how long do you think that was gonna work? How well did you, like, I mean, I get it, she was desperate, but ill-formed plan. But anyways, we see that because of that, Dane shows some of his nastier side there and starts assaulting her, and one of the girls, we still don't know which one, ends up using the one power, accessing it out of fear or out of desperation, what we've seen Nynaeve do multiple times. And so, unfortunately, when you're in a place full of witch hunters and you display something that they consider to be witchcraft, it was just the worst thing that could have happened at the worst time. And Dane immediately wants to crucify pretty much all of them at hearing that. But bless her heart, Matt's mom decides to do what every mama bear should, which is protect her girl. She lies and says it was her, and they take her. And Valda is just so disgustingly turned on at the idea of torturing somebody that he has something to keep him busy. And unfortunately, as I said, I'm just hoping the girls didn't have to hear their mother scream to death or anything. But anyway, that's what ends up happening with them. But in the meantime, we see that Fael went and did some scouting, let Perrin know that they need to move like right then. And so they decide to go and form a plan. And we see that Perrin wants to go in and kind of leave the women behind, so to speak. But I love that Fael says like, no, actually, I'm coming with you. You're not gonna little girl me. I know what I'm doing. And I love that little moment between them, where he tries to, dismiss her, like, cause he's so huge compared to that actor. I mean, I don't know how tall, I should look it up. But that actor I think is about 6'3", somewhere in there probably, because he's taller than most of the cast. And like Daniel Henney, for example, and Yosha are both not short. So that man's tall. Either way, him and the actress who plays Fael is so small. I'm pretty sure she's rocking like 5'3", 5'4". So just hilarious to see that whole interaction, because she's literally craned like this to look up at him. And so when she brought her blade up, the way he just kind of batted it away. Sorry, that was so cute. But anyway, she was quick with the second one though. So anyways, and I just love how the Aiel were kind of like, ooh, we like this dynamic. Fael, if you're not into him, we maiden's kiss. So anyways, I love how after she did that, everyone's like, maybe she should go. Maybe it's a good idea, because bless Perrin. Again, we don't know. I was about to say bless Perrin, he doesn't really know how to fight, but people in the comments have been telling me things like, for example, that Matt actually was really good with a bow staff because his dad would have trained him. They didn't bring it out in the show, but apparently that's the truth of the lore. And we know that now, that through this season particularly, Rand is talking about how his dad trained him with both the bow and the blade. So let me take that back. Maybe Perrin does know how to fight in a way we don't know. But point being, he needs all the help he can get. There's a lot of white cloaks down there, and as strong as he is, he can't take on everybody. So anyway, they decide to go. Alana says, I'll stay back with Loyal, because Loyal's like, I'm not very stealth. It's like, you think? You're not stealthing, you're not fast, my boy. Maybe and also he's not really feeling well either with the steading thing, so probably, or the longing I should say, so best he stays behind. But anyways, Alana says, you know what, I'll make some cover. I personally didn't like this idea, because I was like, well, what are we talking about? Are we talking about you're gonna create some clouds maybe, so that the sun is not, sorry, that the moon isn't so bright? Like, that's what I was thinking. Like, that's, most people wouldn't think twice about some clouds rolling in. That happens all the time. I mean, unless the sky was super, super clear. But anyway, we see later on she does a bunch of mist, and I'll come to that in a second. But anyway, we see there that, again, this fracture that's happening between her and Maxim is still a problem, right? Maxim doesn't want her to do anything. He's like, you're too close. These are witch hunters. They know what weaves look like. They know, not like in the sense of physically seeing them, they know how they behave. They are not dumb, and you're too close. They're gonna know if something's going on that doesn't feel right. So maybe we shouldn't do this. And of course, Alana's like, you don't tell me what to do. I am the boss here. I'm the channeler, you are my ward. But anyway, they're having their little thing, and of course everyone just stays out of it because it's none of their business. And they set off on the mission, and as I said, my girl Alana makes well, actually before we get to the mist, you see that her and Maxim are continuing their fight, and there's an interesting thing that's brought up where, once again, Maxim's kind of, accusing her of not caring about what happened to Ivan, and also just kind of not caring about, like, the grieving process, I guess you can say. And he's saying that he thinks that they should go after Leandrin and get their revenge, because that's all he's focused on, which is very singular and very small. And she's saying, she finally lets him know, because I guess she didn't tell him why they came to the Two Rivers, but she tells him a plan that quite frankly makes sense on, on the hierarchical side of things, where she's like, okay, we need to build an army because we got spanked by the Dark Friends, by the Black Aja. And not per se, like, I mean, truthfully, Alana held her own against all of them, to be fair. fair. She did really good considering she was one Aja, but I understand what she was saying in that they're organized, they're prepared. They took us down so easily because they had a plan in place, and we have clearly gotten lazy and fat in the tower, chilling on our laurels because we never thought something like this could happen. So we're unprepared, and that is very true. I said this back when they attacked in episode 1. The tower is not ready. They are not ready. They've not been preparing for this. There's been no sense of urgency. I get it though, because it's been thousands of years since they've had to worry, but all the same, this was a very ice cold bucket of water down the back as a wake-up call for them that, wow, we are so not ready. Like, they will walk all over us right now as we are. And so I think Alana was absolutely right in that we need to start preparing like for a proper battle. We can't even rely on the tower right now because we're not even aligned there. So we need to come up with other ideas. And her first idea was to come here. She's like, all these kids that are associated with the Dragon Reborn all came from the same place, from the bloodline that was historically one of the strongest in our history. So maybe these people have more than what we think, right? I mean, Maxim kind of had a point that, you know, but they've been farmers for a few centuries. But I do believe that she's onto something about the blood having more of whatever it is that they need, possibly one power as well. Matt's sister or sisters, we don't know if it's both or one of them, but that's another example of kind of proving her theory that it's possible that there's quite a few strong channelers that are right there in the Two Rivers that just have never done much with it because, you know, they never felt the need to. So all that to say, her plan wasn't completely wrong. And I like that she's thinking outside of the box. But, you know, I also understand Maxim being like, do we have the time? And is this the right place, etc. But anyways, in that conversation, very interesting revelation of Maxim of saying that he doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about the war, the tower, being a nice guy, or being a warder. He don't care about none of that. All he cared about was Ivan, and by extension her. And I said this back in episode 1, actually, and again when the episode 3, I think. All that to say that I said Ivan was definitely the glue between those three, right? Because we know the story that they told us back in episode 1. Ivan fell in love with Alana, and Maxim was already in love with Ivan. And Ivan was like, respectfully, Maxim, I like you, you're cool, but Alana's my soulmate. I'm following her into hell. I'm becoming a warder so I never have to leave her again. And Maxim did not want to lose Ivan, so he became a warder so that he could stay with Ivan. And then falling for Alana was kind of a byproduct of that. And vice versa. Alana, you know, Ivan was the person that she fell for, and then was kind of like, okay, cool. Like, I got a bonus 2 for 1, sure. You know what I mean? So now that that linchpin of their relationship is gone, they're just having this hard time navigating this new connection of just the two of them. And interesting that she used the term too, that he wasn't enough. Of course, I think that was a bit layered in that sentence. I don't think she meant literally in the sense, just literally in the sense that, you know, just having him as her warder isn't enough to go into battle. But I think she was also saying, like, for our relationship as it is, you alone are not enough to carry us because it was never us, right? And she described that a bit to Perrin when she was talking about her grieving process, about how Ivan was the temper to both their fires. So all of that just came down to me to just say that they need to, once they're kind of past this general hump of their grief over Ivan, they need to reassess the connection that they have with each other and figure out the rules now that there isn't that middle ground, and reforge a new relationship, because they clearly both love each other, but yeah, they just, the dynamic is different, and it's going to take some time, but it takes effort on both sides for them to reestablish what the new rules are. So anyway, all that ended with, with Maxim running off in a huff because he's dramatic. But I was also saying that Maxim needs to open up his worldview as well, because you can't be with Alana and have the mindset of, I'm only doing this for you. Like, no, you need to care. You need to kind of care about more than that. But anyways, he went off in a huff and left Alana on her own. Alana then proceeded to create some cover. But like I said, even I would have known something was up. Like, girl, I thought she was, like I said, put a little cloud in the sky or something. She literally put like 6 months worth of mist in there in a matter of like minutes. Of course they knew. Of course they knew there was a channeler about, because they've been in the Two Rivers for months now. You think they wouldn't have known that this isn't typical weather for them? Like, Alana, girl. But you know, I'm gonna give her a pass because she just had a fight with her man, so she was not in the right headspace. But anyway, that happens. They try to execute the escape plan, and it's almost gonna work, but of course, because Matt's mom and the girls are separated, they get the girls, they manage to get them out, thank God. But then we see that because they have to look for Matt's mom, they find her, and Perrin is understandably, between that and seeing that they've been killing wolves and putting their heads on pikes, I know that's Valda. Actually no, that'd be Dane too, because dogs were attacking their soldiers there. Anyway, cruelty to animals. boo. Between that and then seeing what they did to Matt's mom, understandably, Perrin is just, he's very emotional. And of course, because he's lingering over that, he bumps into Dane, and basically, yeah, we hear Perrin say, dude, I thought you were better than this. Like, one of the reasons we got along all that time ago is because you seem like a different kind of white cloak, but it looks like you're just as bad. And Dane then blames Perrin for this. And I mean, number one, Perrin, you know, people don't just suddenly become things they're not. Like, that was already in Dane. He was probably just somewhat tempering it because, I don't know, he didn't feel like he needed to tap into it, but it was always there. And two, it's an emotional reaction, bro. Like, you literally took out his dad for no discernible reason that he knew of, right? Like, most people would never take out another human being over a dog, especially a wolf, because it looked like a wild wolf was just running through there. They had no idea the connection of you and Hopper and all that. So anyway, Dane blames his transformation on Perrin. They start fighting. And of course, we got to see Fiona. She's a little firecracker, hey? A little pocket rocket. We love that about her. But yeah, she's kind of playing around with those guys, to be fair. I feel like she could have ended it very quickly. But anyway, we see that unfortunately, Perrin does get stabbed in the side, which is a pretty significant wound if it hit in the organs. And you see where as soon as she sees that, my girl files that that's my husband, how dare you. She ends the two fights quickly with the other dudes, and she stabs Dane in the shoulder. She could have killed him. She didn't. But anyway, she ends up, trying to get to Perrin, and Perrin is not moving at the moment because he's hurt bad. But anyways, in the meantime, we see that Valda, unsurprisingly, figures out that someone is channeling, figures out where it was, because you can even see in the way that they displayed it in the show that it was all coming from one place. Alana. Anyway, it was all literally coming from one place. So I think Valda just followed the trail, and he ended up going up there and catching Alana unawares. And she got, 6 arrows in her? They didn't want to kill her, though. I realized if they wanted to, they could have definitely done a headshot before she would have known anything, because we all know Valda likes to torture them before. Sick little twisted masochistic streak. But anyway, it's a good thing that that's what he likes to do in this case, because that's what saved Alana's life. And her man Maxim came back. I was wondering if she turned the bond back on, and she had, because she was like, oh crap, I can't do this alone. I thought I could do, in my huff, I told him to get lost. And I'm like, no, just kidding. Come back. I can't do this. I've only worked with warders. Help. So anyways, thankfully, Maxim, that love for her is still there. And he came back, and thank God. I did not see Valda in that pile of bodies, though. So I think like the little he ran off. But anyways, he got stabbed. And she's got like 5 arrows and she can't heal herself. So I'm like, Alana, I'm going to need you to calm all the way down with all this, because why are you going so hard when there's no one to heal you? But anyway, that's how that ended. They're kind of back on the same track for now. I think that that dramatic reunion, I think, is cemented that they're not ready to really part ways at this point. Maybe they'll start talking a little bit more constructively going forward. We'll have to see. But yeah, so that was pretty much what happened at the Two Rivers. So yeah, Perrin is in bad shape. And the girls have yet to find out about their mom, but I do wonder what's going to happen now that we know one of the girls can channel. If there's something that Atlanta's going to do with that, we'll have to see. There's a mess there, and the White Cloaks are definitely going to recover quickly, right? Because even though this is tonight, I am worried because we know the reinforcements are on their way, and Dane is not dead. Neither is Valda. So yeah, they're going to go into the Two Rivers and they're going to be looking for everyone. So I think they're going to have to leave, right? I'm thinking there's no other option. They're going to have to, if Perrin can be bandaged up, or if my girl Alana can do a minimal weaves on both her and Maxim, they're going to have to try to get to the Waygate ASAP. I can't think of any other way. But that way, oh God, the way, it's so far away. I don't know, guys. I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, anyway, so that's them, praying for them. And then last we have what's going on in the Aiel Waste. We discovered now that Rand is going to have to meet with all the leaders of the Aiel so that they can witness, the Tats and see whether or not they want to accept him as the Karkaran. And we see that Bear basically told my lippy girl Abby that she's gonna have to be Rand's new shadow now, because she's like, girl, you're not being respectful enough for me. You're doing too much. So your first assignment to kind of get you out of this whole I'm a spear maiden rather than the person who's supposed to be advising this man, you're gonna spend some quality time with this boy you love so much. And so I thought that was so deliciously petty, but I'm for it. So we see it, and I thought that was so funny seeing Avienda try to be nice to Rand. Cinema. Total cinema, because please, girl, she cannot stand him. It's the way she's saying it. Like, the stuff that she was saying was actually useful, but it's just the fakeness To the point where even Rand is like, I'm good. Like, we don't have to talk. We don't have to pretend to like each other, girl. I already know you hate me. So let's just eat in peace. But anyway, we see that we found out a little something about the Aiel culture. I mean, we already kind of knew this, I guess, from season 2, but it reinforced that they don't really believe in the traditional, well, I say traditional, but this is a fictitious world, but they're not really about the idea of what we believe in this world to be a traditional marriage of one person with another person. We see that, like I said, they share lovers here. Polyamory is very much accepted in kind of the Aiel way. And I guess that makes sense. I mean, there wasn't a ton of Aiel, so it wouldn't have made a lot of sense, I figure, back in the day for them to get their numbers up if they stuck with one partner, right? It would make much more sense for particularly a man to have multiple partners to make sure that there were more kids that were being produced. But anyway, interesting that everyone was kind of just looking at that and the cultural exchange that was happening there. But we see that Moiraine is understandably very shaken with what's been going on, what she's seen. And we actually saw her too using the Sangreal. And I love that someone put a message on X about the difference between the way that Moiraine is handling the Sangreal versus Latra. Latra was so smooth, refined, right? Very fine, very meticulous weaves that were coming out in a specific pattern when she was holding the Sangreal. And then you got Nynaeve, where it's literally like, what's the best way to describe it? Like a kid trying to hold on to a fire hose, right? Like, it's just, oh my God, what do I do? There's so much power. Bless her heart. And Moiraine's not new, right? She's been weaving for years. So it just kind of lets you know the difference in where they're at. Like, Latra was obviously very powerful, but we all know that 3,000 years ago, their knowledge and interaction with the One Power was much different. And I feel like the best word I could use is more graduated than what they have now. And you've got poor Moiraine, who, like I said, is barely able to handle this thing. And I think she's just trying to figure out how to use it if necessary. But yeah, she's got a ways to go. And I love that her and Lan had a lot of really beautiful kind of connective moments in this episode. First he goes to her when she's using the Sangreal, because he obviously would have felt that she was a little scared of how powerful it was. And then again, we see that he talks to her about, like, what did you see in there? Because I think he's been able to sense through the bond that she's been scared or anxious ever since she got out. And I was surprised she didn't tell him right away, but I understand that takes time to digest. But either way, as I commented in the episode, it was nice to see that she's got someone to kind of rely on and lean on in this, because since season 1, we've seen Moiraine be pretty, self-assured and almost kind of pushes Lan off when it comes to dealing with what she needs to deal with. But I think after what they went through last season particularly, she's much more open to letting Lan into those less sure moments of hers and just allowing herself to be vulnerable with him, which I think she absolutely needs, because she doesn't have Suan to be that person with, right? So anyway, I thought that was nice to see, and that Lan is absolutely the right person to temper that with her, because he is so grounded and so calm. And when she does eventually tell him what she saw and why she's upset, he's understand, like, it kind of puts the pieces together for him. And then when she asks him, what do I do with that? Like, how do I handle that? And he basically just says, well, are you gonna die now? So he's kind of like, all right, well then we drink tonight and we live today. Like, that's all we can do. And then whatever's gonna come is gonna come. And that was such a great way to, I think, kind of spell it out for Moiraine, because she is someone, who definitely thinks ahead. And I can tell she's an overthinker, understandably, but sometimes you got to strip it away and be much more simple. And this is one of those moments. And I love that Lan was that person for her to be like, yeah, like, you're not going to be able to solve this all right now anyway. And there's a very good chance that you're not going to be able to solve it. And it's not going to be in a way that you want, especially hearing that after dedicating your life to something, it's not going to work out the way that you want. And I think I said that also in the episode, that she phrased it as, everything that I've done for the last 20 years, all of it's going to be for nothing because I don't make it to the final battle. And I said it in the episode, and I'll reiterate it here, that that's just a life lesson. Like, I hope no one ever feels that way. I think we've all been there, where something is not working out the way that we wanted, or something stops the plan that we thought we had, and we kind of feel like all of our efforts till that point are somehow, null and void. And that's just not true, right? Like, there's always things to be gained. There's always things that have been gleaned from what we go through, even if it doesn't work out the way we planned. And Moiraine has touched so many lives and done so many things that absolutely matter. Even if she doesn't make it to the final battle, it doesn't mean that what she's done is no longer of use, or that her existence somehow has no more meaning. So I hope that she really takes to heart what Lan's trying to tell her, like, let's just worry on the day-to-day. don't discredit what you've already done, because it does matter, right? I don't think Lan would ever say that Moiraine coming into his life and the last 20 years he spent with her is a waste, even if it doesn't work out. So anyway, cute moment there. And then we see that in the end, Moiraine wants to send a message off to Suan based on what she knows, understandably, because she's not sure if she's going to be able to get back to Suan before this all kicks off. She has no idea when this foretelling is going to happen. And I mean, she's already kind of told us, I guess, basically that she's not willing to let Rand die just so she can live, right? So she's still dedicated to the cause, despite how disappointing that is. But anyway, she uses Egwene to contact Suan, and that's a beautiful moment between her and Suan, because they really haven't had a chance to have a heart-to-heart since Suan got, let's say broken, but she was severely hurt by Lanfear at the gates. So I'm glad they had the chance to kind of make up in the way that only they can. And I thought what was really interesting about that conversation, actually, that I took from it was when Moiraine said, my job was to find the Dragon Reborn and guide him, and your job was to get the tower prepared for his arrival. And we see that Suan immediately shuts down and walks away there because she hasn't done that at all. And that was kind of reinforced by what happened with her and Elida, which I'll get to in a second. God, there actually was a lot in this episode. I'm still yapping. Anyway, but yeah, I thought that was very interesting and so true. And we see Suan later say that, yeah, I got caught up in the tower politics and being in the seat, and maybe I wasn't the right one for the job. But Moiraine aptly pointed out that she's not a people person, and she definitely doesn't have the time for tower politics. So she probably would have been dethroned already if she'd been in that position. But Suan does need to focus up. I think that's what they took from that, is you need to hurry up, because the tower is nowhere near ready to receive Rand as the next Dragon Reborn. And with this looming vote, which Suan didn't have time to talk to Moiraine about, it's not looking good for bending knee to Rand when necessary. But we heard that my girl Moiraine let her know that there's two things that are true here. Well, actually, she never got to number two. But one is that the tower has to bend knee to Rand. Otherwise, we're going to lose. So that's now Suan's big cross to bear. How does she make that happen? How does she get people back on her side? Because, yeah, the tower is definitely divided as far as who thinks that the dragon should be collared or in prison versus letting him run things, which goes against everything that they kind of have in place right now. So that was kind of a beautiful moment. And of course, them saying effectively their goodbyes, which sucks, but is real. I'm glad they got the chance to have that moment and share, you know, that how they feel about each other, so that the last thing that they had is not that ugly fight that they had. So yeah, and like I said, she never told, Moiraine never told Suan about the prophecy, and I don't blame her, because as I said, I don't know the right move. Like, do you tell her in the spirit of honesty, but even though she's nothing she can do about it, and just give her one more thing on her plate to worry about, or do you just keep it to yourself because of those reasons? Like, I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know if she did the right thing by keeping it from her or not, but I understand her decision. So going back now to Egwene. Egwene, we see that right as soon as they were coming back to, well, wherever that stone place was that they were going to, for Rand to meet all the leaders, we see that Bear and the other wise ones say to Egwene, okay, now that we've dealt with that, we need to talk to you about your dream walking so we can get that under control. You need to understand what's happening. And we get a lot of info about that I was asking last episode, which was basically around, like, do you have to be able to channel to enter Teleron Riod? And then also the fact that, you know, if you die there, you die here. And also that not everybody can access it. Even if you can channel, it doesn't mean you can access it. So that kind of explains, because I was wondering why Moiraine would need Egwene to get to the dream world, but now we know. Because I thought in season 1 we saw the two of them do that, her and Suan do that to meet up, but maybe I misunderstood. But anyway, they basically said to, you know, Egwene that, no, like, if things are happening in there, someone else is walking in the dream world with you, and you need to figure out how to stop people from being able to hurt you in the dream world. And she basically explained the rules that basically said, if you don't want to be somewhere, imagine yourself somewhere else. It sounds simple, but I feel like emotionally it's probably not as easy as people think. So anyway, we see that they go back into the dream world, and Egwene started out, like, they were trying to take her in the slow and safe way, you know, with the seatbelts on and the training wheels. And Egwene, being that eager beaver ace student that she is, she was like, I got the hang of this. Don't worry about me. Jumps in headlong and disappears. And she ends up being in, I don't even know if it's her dream or she ended up jumping into, I don't know. I'm still not sure exactly how she ended up at that creepy ass place where Lanfear was, if Lanfear wanted her to come there or what, but either way, she ends up in the same place as Lanfear. And Lanfear, of course, any opportunity to be petty and jealous towards a woman that literally just existed, right? It's not her fault that Rand fell in love with her and was born in this life to love her, but, you know, Lanfear's not reasonable. And anyways, we discover after that, you know, the other wise one's like, I don't think we should be teaching her nothing because she don't listen. She's too eager. But with the timelines we're dealing with right here, I'm not actually mad at Egwene on this one. Like, obviously, I don't want her to risk her life, but I don't think we have the time for things traditionally to move at a traditional pace the way things have been going so far. But anyway, thankfully, she was pulled out of the dream before Lanfear could do her worst. But again, I don't think Lanfear's gonna kill her at this point because she knows that if Rand gets distracted with that, it's not gonna work for her. So she's just enjoying the torture right now because Lanfear's a psychopath. But anyway, after that, they tell Egwene to stay away from Rand. They want her to sleep with them. And I think it's just because they want to make sure she doesn't go into the dream world without permission again. But also I think they're, like everyone, is trying to kind of put some separation between her and Rand, right? They said that when they pulled her into the first training, like, your time of watching Rand is over. So I don't know if she understood what they were trying to tell her there, but yeah, Egwene's gonna have to figure out that this connection she has with Rand as it is right now is not going to serve going forward. It's not her path. And so anyway, we see that later on when she does that whole thing with Moiraine takes her on her walk, she decides to go wandering off on her own. And I'm like, girl, but I don't blame her. Like, she's trying to get the hang of this thing. And she ends up visiting the dreams of all the people she cares about. And I completely understand that. Like, that's her way of checking in. It is a great way for her to keep tabs on everybody and helpful, quite honestly. But again, without her having full control, probably a little ambitious. And then she finally gets to, and I love seeing where everyone's heart is. I love that. It was a great way for us to see a little sneak peek into everybody's minds and like where their hearts are and where their fantasies are and where they want things to be if things were different. And you know, what I took from that is Perrin and Fael. Hey, love that that's already a thing that he's worried or thinking about, I should say. And my poor girl Nynaeve still, again, exactly like that the captain on the ship warned her, she's still kind of stubbornly trying to keep the life that she once had that she can never really have. I shouldn't say never, but that fake life in the ring. What was it fake? Now that I think about it, maybe it was a possible future. Either way, my girl is still stuck in that. And then Matt just wanting his family to be proud of him. Like, all of it was really nice to see. And again, just good insights into where our characters are at in their heart of hearts that they can't really focus on right now. But then she, of course, wanders into Rand's dream. And unsurprisingly, Rand's being a full-on hoe, as he always is. And yeah, Lanfear, of course, knows that she's there and makes sure that Egwene sees her doing all that. But you know what? I'm not even mad at Lanfear for this one because Rand should have been talking to her about this. I mean, I know he doesn't know that Lanfear's been stalking her dreams, but he should have been told her about Celine / Lanfear, their connection, because now that Egwene's with him, he already saw how jealous she was, even about Moiraine being by his side. That's on Rand. I'm sorry. That's on Rand that this happened. But yeah, Lanfear, of course, kind of spilling the beans for Rand that, yeah, your man's been cheating on you with me the whole time. It is what it is. So I feel badly for her, and I understand why she screamed, because obviously when she saw Lanfear's face there with Rand, I love that they showed that it clicked all in place, that the people that she thought were Rhenna in her dreams were actually Lanfear. And putting that all together and what she's done to her, completely understand that blood-curdling scream. So yeah, we'll have to see, because Rand doesn't seem to be able to hear her, because I think that my girl's just been walking the dreams, like she's not interacting. She was very passive in all those dreams. And anyway, it's sad for her. I'm sad that she had to find out like this, and that Lanfear got to take so much pleasure in destroying that dream or destroying that image. But the truth did need to be said at some point. Like, Rand has been messing around with this psychopath for way too long and not protecting Egwene enough from it for my personal liking. So at least now, I think hopefully this is going to be the message that Egwene needs, that Rand is not the one. Like, she'll always love him, but they were not meant to be together, not in this life. And she knew that from season 1 truly, but now I feel like this might be the kick in the pants that she needs to know that this man actually sat back and was going to let her, again, let me take that back. Let me take it back. Rand slander from previous seasons coming back. I'm sorry. Old habits die hard. The fact that he didn't warn her, I still blame him. He could have, even if he didn't know what she was doing in the dreams, he should have warned Egwene so she would have had some idea of what was happening, and she could have let Rand know, and Rand could have done something to protect her. But yeah, he wanted to keep it quiet because he wanted to keep sneaking around with her while sleeping with Egwene in the real world. Like, too much, Rand. You a hoe. And I'm not even mad at that part, but at least be honest about being a hoe and stop letting Gwaine think that you're something you're not. And that's what Lanfear's been saying to him for a couple episodes now. And yeah, and do we even touch on that? I guess. Small touch, kind of last point. Rand basically talking about saying that Lanfear was not always this horrible as she is now, but Lanfear kind of saying straight up, I'm not that person anymore. And Rand being like, I think you're still in there. And I'm like, Rand, no, she's telling you the truth right now. She ain't that girl. And then she even said, is that who you want me to be? Right? Like, do you want me to pretend that I'm this cute little girl from the past that's naive, you know, pre-taking on these dark oaths, which I did willingly? And I need Rand to understand that, yeah, no, sir. That was the 20-year-old Rand there who didn't recognize that this girl telling you that that's not who she is, and him thinking, oh, but I'm sure my dick can change her. Like, no. Okay, she's made up her mind. So I'm hoping he figures that out. And interesting also choice of words that Lanfear said when she said to Rand, I want you, Rand. That's what I want. I don't just want, you know, I don't want, all my altruistic goals are gone. Screw that. I want you, Rand al'Thor, instead of Lews Therin. So it's like, but again, some people have said that she just loves the dragon no matter what. But I'm just kind of like, it is weird though. Cause like, do you really love Rand? Do you know him? Yes, she spent time with him as Selene, but that wasn't the real you, ma'am. And that wasn't even the real Rand. So anyways, it's an interesting thing that she said that she wants him, but anyway, that's kind of how we ended everything after kind of a pretty huge episode there. But we'll have to see. I want to know how Egwene's going to handle this. Is she going to confront Rand about it, ask him why he knows that this torturer, who she is and why he didn't tell her about it? Or is she going to keep it to herself and just back off of Rand? I don't know. But yeah, soap opera within everything else that's happening right now continues. And I enjoy the little side plots like this. But yeah, another good episode. A lot more than I thought. I yapped more than I had planned to, but I feel like there was quite a bit to cover since we were covering everybody in this episode and not just Rand. So I enjoyed it a lot, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. And thank you so much for sticking it out to the end of this review if you did. If you liked it, please do show some love, and I will see you in the next one.